Hey guys, today I have a shirt on, a fancy shirt on, because this is a very important and actually high quality video I'm gonna be making today. I'm gonna be ranking every sock in Battle for Bikini Bottom. First sock in the game, SpongeBob's house sock. Now first let's look at this. Also, I will be renaming all of the socks in the game, because none of the socks even have a name in-game. So, this first sock in the attic, pretty generic sock. Like, you hit the button and, like, the platforms come up. I think it's a good tutorial sock, though, so I'm gonna give it C tier. Next sock is Talk to Patrick. And I can't really rank this one. It's basically just like, hey, look at Patrick's feet. Steal his sock now. Now it's a sock that you have. It's just handed to you. But like, it's like the introduction to two socks if you missed the one in the attic. So E, because like, I can't really rank it F because it's like, introduces you to socks. If you actually listen to what Patrick says. Next sock is Destroy Squidward's stuff. Now, I don't like Squidward torture, but the fact that this is a sock would like... It's only a problem with like the newer SpongeBob. Besides, I think it's like they were trying to be funny, and it is pretty funny. But I am gonna be giving it C instead of B. The next sock is Patrick's Rock. This area only exists because of this sock. So, since the only thing you can do here is smack his couch to get it and play some music, also get shiny objects, I'm gonna be putting this in D because it's basically handed to you, but in a slightly funny way. Next sock is Fix the TV in Shady Shoals, which is pretty... The sock is kinda actually like pretty cryptic to find, unless you're like, well, like, at least there's like some way to be like, maybe if I smack the TV. So it's not too cryptic, but also not too like handed to you. So I'm just gonna give this C, because there are more than one picture on the TV. The next sock, this is one of the only socks that would be put higher if it had a name in-game. The fountain sock, like, who's gonna think to hit the fountain? I mean, maybe if you think outside the box, and you're like, there's only one of these in the area. Maybe if I hit this. But it also, like, is the same thing as hitting a taxi, or hitting the downtown Bikini Bottom sign that's next to the taxi, or, like, hitting something like the Jellyfish Fields, like, ad poster. So, yet again, pretty cryptic. So, that's gonna be D. But I guess it's like 1% cool. So, E tier. The next sock is I will destroy the Krusty Krab. Reference to the show. I think this is just Squidward's house on a bigger scale, which I like, because it forces you to explore the entire Krusty Krab. And it's kind of cool to, like, go around, because you can see into the kitchen, too. So I'm just gonna put this next to Squidward's stuff, but pretty good sock. This next sock is going with the fountain, because yet again, who's gonna think to hit that? It's all the same reasons as the fountain, so that's why it's going with the fountain. And that is it for Bikini Bottom socks. On to Jellyfish Field. First sock in Jellyfish Fields is the waterfall sock. This is actually really good, because you have to search for it, or at least go up to the bungee first, see it, and then backtrack. Or if you're like really wanna explore a lot, this is like a good sock to find if you're exploring. So it's gonna be a high C tier. Not too high though. This next sock is like waterfall sock, but super upgraded. It like, you have to do like a whole thing. You have to press a button, you like raises up the barrels to get it. There's also purple shiny object waiting for you. So yeah, this is gonna be a high B tier. Actually, it's gonna be a low B tier, but still a good sock. B tier. The next sock is funny because it's also on a fountain, but it's in Jellyfish Fields. This one is kinda interesting because when I was I grew up with Rehydrated, and I could not get up here in Rehydrated, but I also didn't know it was here in the first place. So, yeah, it's good, but a little cryptic, but not too cryptic. So yeah, it's gonna be a high C tier. It's just like good and adventurous, like the waterfall sock. The next sock is on Jellyfish Rock. This one, it's like just a tiny little challenge where you have to bounce across some platforms to get it. But like, there's an easy way to skip it, and it's a good shortcut. But we're talking like not speedrunning good. This sock is just like kinda easy. I'm gonna put it in D tier, but it's a high D tier. Next is gonna be Secret Slide Sock. Now this sock is like the hidden passage in the slide. It also leads up to another sock. I just think, well, like, I know, like, I get what they were trying to do. They were trying to like have like some hidden thing, but it's the first slide in the game, so it's like not too hidden, and it's very easy to spot. So in terms of like funness to find, that's gonna be D tier. The next one is the Slide Leap, which goes along with it. Now this is actually just a little more challenging, because sometimes you miss the jump. Like sometimes I miss it in my speedruns. But it's not too hard to time, so it's gonna be a low C tier. Next sock is Hidden in the Caves, where you use the Freezy Fruit to freeze the goo and get the sock. This is a good introduction to Freezy Fruit because there's a reason to use it, to get something, to get a collectible, and the purple shiny object in the goo also lures you to the sock. So it's handed to you, but it's a good tutorial for the Freezy Fruit. So it's gonna be a low B tier. Next we have Ledge, the sock on the ledge in the caves. This is like, it's not too hard to spot, but if you would miss it, unless you like look back, it like promotes you to be adventurous, I guess, but not too hard to find. So high D tier. This next sock is Hidden Sock on the Hill, which would be in the Jellyfish Fields hill. I think you like trampoline over to this one, but like, I also didn't get this one like first thing in Rehydrated, so it's like kinda hard to figure out where it is, but also kind of easy because you can see where it is. So this is gonna be low C tier. Next we have this staircase structure to the sock. Try saying that 3 times fast. But yeah, this one is also pretty hidden. It's also really good figuring out in your brain, because you walk by, you see it over there, but you're like, that's way too far, I can't make that jump. So later you get there and you're like, oh yeah, and walk down there and get the sock. It's nice at being hidden, but it's still... Dude, man, I can't get it up on the tier list. It's still kind of low B tier. Next we have the sock hidden on the slide of the King Jelly fight, which is pretty good hidden. It's on like a slide that you're not normally on. You have to jump onto it to get this sock. Yet again, good hidden. But it is a high C tier. Almost B, but not quite. Next we have the backtracking socks, which are the bowling socks and the Destroy the Tiki socks. So sock bowling in the Destroy the Tiki sock. These are with like backtracking, but I like how they're like, it's one of the only like instances where you have to backtrack to get a sock without cheats. But I really like the sock bowling minigame. So that's gonna be a B tier. This, like, tiki sock where you blow up the tikis to get the sock, it's also good, but this is a low B tier. That's all the Bikini Bottom socks. We're now going to Downtown Bikini Bottom. No, that was Jellyfish Fields. Why'd I say Bikini Bottom? Jellyfish Fields has a lot of socks. It's kind of fitting because, like, Patrick's probably there all the time. Wait! Wait. No, actually, wait. How did I get here? Alright, anyway, I forgot a Jellyfish Fields sock. The actual final Jellyfish Fields sock is in the goo with Patrick. This is another instance of backtracking, but it's done really badly this time, which is why I'm giving it low D. No. I'm actually giving this... Hold on. It's stuck. Nah, I'm bringing you down to E tier in terms of getting the sock the intended way. Very easily cheesable, which also adds to its badness. Now we can go to the downtown socks. The next sock is the Broken Building sock, which is the sock within the broken building of Downtown Bikini Bottom. This sock is pretty good, and in terms of intention, you're not meant to skip around the building here. It's meant for you to go see, go look, which is another good way of exploring. Which is why I'm giving this a high... A lot of these socks are like C. I'm gonna give this a very low B tier. Because I just like Downtown Bikini Bottom a lot, and the socks in it. This next sock is the Floating Platforms sock. I hate my nose, bro. It always happens when I'm making a video, too. So this sock, it's just like you see it, and then you go get it, and then you jump down. It's only a little bit of a challenge because you have to, it's slippery, but whatever. Which is why you're going in D tier. This sock is also kinda handed to you, but it's high D tier, so don't complain, or else you're going to E. This next sock is the sock which is hidden on the roof. Now, I really like this sock, because uses Sandy, which is my favorite character, because she can fly. Because flying squirrel joke. It's also, like, really fun to get, because you, like, jump over, and you, like, it rewards you for being, like, adventurous, because you want to go stand over on this other half of the building, because it's cool, and then you go find this sock. Yay. Which is why it's getting B tier. Good sock. This next sock is behind the building, which is like also rewards you for being adventurous too, but it's also kind of more hidden than hidden on the roof. Now this one should have been called hidden on the roof, because it's actually on a roof thing, but it's not actually the roof of the building, so whatever, again. Which is why you're also getting B tier. This next sock is on top the windmill. Now, if this sock was replaced with the purple shiny object, which is very way higher on the windmill, I would be putting this in a really low tier. But since it's not doing that with all that stupid platforming, this also gets C tier. This next sock is the one on the rooftop, next to Plankton, which has been destroyed. This sock is also like, hey, go look back there. Oh, look, a sock. But it's not as adventurous as the other ones, which is why it's getting low C tier. But it's actually high C tier, because I lied. This next sock is behind the lighthouse. Now, I really like this sock, because, like, it's also really hidden, and you can't see it anywhere else in the map. So since this is hidden, this is getting low B tier, because it's not too good, but also not too great, not too bad. This next sock is Lighthouse Bounce, which is good because it rhymes. Also, the intended way to get this sock is fun because you bounce, and it also rhymes. So I'm giving this really low B tier. This next sock hidden in the sea needle. This sock requires you to come back with the cruise bubble, which is more stupid backtrack, which is actually good. So I'm gonna give it high C tier, because B tier is getting a little close to C tier, and C tier must be undefeated. This next, I forgot this was the image for the sock, is the Lifeguard Tower Challenge, which I really like, because it's a bunch of platforming challenges. You know, the reason I play this game is because platforming speedrun fun. Yes. And so that's why you're going in, yeah, high B tier. Very good sock. This next, I got confused because snack and sock are in the same sentence. You mean yeah, but the snack bar sock is, was that a voice crack? I don't know. I didn't hear. It's like, that was definitely a voice crack. All right. All voice. Yeah, this sock is pretty good, but like, it's like really easy. So like, it's like high D tier, but like really low C tier, but like really high D tier. It's like good, but not like, it's kind of bad. This next one is Sandcastle Sock, which is a good platforming challenge, because if you're a casual player, then it's kind of hard to get up those steps of tikis to get to the sock. So I like how it has some challenge. So it's going in high C tier. We're running out of room on C tier. I hope it expands. Freeze the Flood is really fun because it's the only, like, oh, you have to get out, like, spatula, and also the sock where you find the freezy fruit, which requires you to get here as Patrick, which would be, like, not ideal to do if you were playing, like, normal, which is why the sock is really good, which is why I'm giving it low B tier. You know what? Rethinking this is a very unique sock. It also uses freeze fruit, which is not used very much in the game. This is also, like, the only sense of danger, like, platforming, like, where you have to be really good. Well, not too good. So, I'm gonna give this the first A tier. But it's very low A tier. So, we better start locking in, guys. We gotta get someone to S tier. Next. Why are all the Goo Lagoon socks goofy images? Next, we have the sock on top of the tikis, which is also good. But, like, it also has a staircase of thingies to get up to it. So it's also kind of handed to you again. But it is fun to get up there and get shiny objects as a second reward. So this is going to be a very high D tier. I can't rank it too high. Like, it's not really that. Oh, speaking of, we need the first S tier. We also need the first F tier, which I bet you know which one is going there. Foreshadowing. 5 shadowing. Next, we have Under the Goo sock, which is kind of, like, fun to see it. And if the goo's up, you're like, I gotta wait. Then it goes down and you go get the sock. Yet again, this is another, like, D tier, where it's not really bad, but we can't rank it too high because it's kind of basic. Next, we have Cliff of the Caves. I also really like the sock. It has some nice platforming for when you get to the end, if you want to go back. It's also a pretty hidden area, which doesn't have a very ideal or easy skip. So, considering this is going to be another very low A tier. I should have put more B's in A. Ma'am. Next, we got the Freeze the Caves sock, which also uses the freezy fruit. You gotta be a little fast to get this sock, but not really fast, like, at all. But this is not too bad, so I'm gonna give it a low B tier. Now, Whack-A-Tiki is one of the only mini-games in this game, which is really fun. And since it's one of the only mini-games in the game, this also makes it very unique. And it's also kind of fun to play if you're ever really bored in this game. So, I'm gonna be giving it another low A tier, but it's really low. Next up is like... The fact I have this frame is just so coincidental, and I love it. Like, let's just get naming this. This one is Defeat Robots on Ice, where you have to also defeat the Duplicatotron, or Duplicatatron. I don't know if you're supposed to get this as Patrick, but it sure is funny. I don't know why this is funny. Do you guys know why this is funny? Tell me in the comments why this is funny. But yeah, pretty good challenge, so this is another B tier. Next up... Why is SpongeBob looking at me like that? I never even realized he was, like, staring right at you. Guys, should this be my profile picture? Vote. Alright, next we got Slide Sock. Sliding in the pier. Now this is also a sock. And also kinda not hard to get at all. So, yet another not too bad, not bad, but it's not good. There's a difference. A cellular difference. Moving on to Baccaradum. So this first one on the building. Hidden on the building. You usually jump down to this one from somewhere up there. And it's kinda hard to guess, but not too hard to guess, so whatever. So, like, another, like, kinda generic sock, but you can't put it too low. I'm still putting it in D tier, though. This is kind of, like, a little lazy. A little. Next up, we got this one. That's in between some rocks. It's, like, kinda unique, but you can just see it and lasso over to it as sandy. So it's, like, another D, because it's really easy. But, like, yeah, you know. Next, we got under the platform. The first museum sock. Since there are really a lot of socks in this area, I'm gonna put it lower than I should, but this is really goodly hidden. I'm gonna put this in a low C tier. And we are out of space for C tier. Next, we got the goofiest sock in the whole game. Behind the Duplicatatron, which is how you pronounce it. This is so stupid. It's right there. How do you hide a sock this bad? And I can't even give it credit for being a tutorial sock, since this is just so badly placed. They weren't even trying with this one. All you had to do was make it a little more creative, and you didn't. Socks like this is the reason why Sock Remix exists, which is why this is the first F tier sock. The offset N is really annoying too. Next we got Rock Bottom Bungee. This is just like another generic pay this clam bungee down, you know. It's like reused kind of frequently in the game. This is why I'm giving it another, you know what, I'm gonna give most of these bungee socks E tier for being unoriginal. Next. Oh look, there it is. Next we have Hidden in Rock Bottom. This is like another meh, I guess, whatever sock. So it's going in a D tier. Again. Get in there. Next we have this sock on the cliff. This is another meh, whatever sock. So it's going in, yet again, D tier. Next we have the unoriginal museum socks. Next we have these two unoriginal socks, which are both in basically the exact same spot. They're just copy-paste socks, which is why they're both going in E tier. Next we have the first Mermalayer sock, which is this another bungee. At least you don't have to pay a clam this time, and the visuals look pretty cool. I also had a hard time finding the sock in Rehydrated a while ago too. So this sock is going in B tier. Next we have SpongeBob. Why are you so freaky? Look at him, bro. Next we got Sliding in the Mermalayer, which is pretty generic yet again, because you know you like on a slide, you just jump off, go get it. He's going in D tier. Next we got Platforming in the Mermalayer. This is another, like, unoriginal toll sock, but, like, you know, it's got some platforming, but I'm putting it in an E for being a bit unoriginal, but it's very high E tier. It's just like this short of D tier. Next we got this ballroom sock, which is behind the ballroom platform. This is kinda not really goodly hidden. This is actually, like, really easy to find. Another thing, like, platforming in the Mermalayer, it's going in E. Like, whatever. Like, who cares? It's just another sock. Next, we got this Sandman sock, which is actually really funny, because you gotta break this snowman to get it. And I really like this sock, because it's a bit funny. But not too funny to go in A. But it is pretty funny. So I'm putting it in B. Next, we got this sock on a ledge in Sand Mountain. This is another ledge sock, but I like it for being creative. So it's going in C tier. But it's not too original. So, like, you know, it would have been B tier, but meh. Next, we got this shortcut sock, which is another, actually, I'm putting this in D tier, because, you know, there's multiple shortcut socks, so, like, they're all pretty similar, so meh. Next, we got this under the slide sock. I'm gonna put this in C tier for being funny, I guess, but it's not actually funny. It's just, like, it's another cool shortcut, so, like, whatever, meh, again. This sock is, like, a place in the slide where you walk to it. I mean, I guess it's creative for doing that, but it's kind of like, just like, it's like a downgraded shortcut sock. I'm gonna be putting this in E tier for being a bit unoriginal, but it's high E tier, so don't be like, Next, we have this sock on this, like, fallen over building on the slide. It's a bit hard to jump up here, which is why I will be giving this C tier. Yeah. This next sock, I bet you have been prepared for a while. And in terms of challenge, this is a very good sock. It tests your skill of the game to make sure that you're a good player or not. It is the one and only Flounder Hill Sandman. So this sock I actually like because of its good challenge. I don't like what downgrades the sock from... I bet you were expecting this sock to go in F tier for being hard. I'm actually going to put the sock in A tier for testing your skill of the game for one last challenge before you go fight Robo Patrick. This is another shortcut sock, and I get to similarly name two socks because two spatulas in the game have the same name too. So this is also going in E tier because it's unoriginal. Next, we have this sock on the hidden spiral within the cave, or like within the mountain, that is apparently hollow. So this is actually a fun little thing to discover, which is why it's going in high B tier. Next, we got defeat robots on the pillars. This is a nice sandy challenge, which gives it extra points from making it go from B tier up to very low A tier. That's it for Sand Mountain. Now we're going to Kelp Forest, which has the first sock of... Where is this? This looks pretty generic. Yeah, so you usually use a trampoline to get up here. I'm kind of gonna put this... I'm not really familiar with Kelp Forest. I mean, I guess it fits in E tier, but I'm gonna put this in a high D tier. Next, we got this Freeze the Goo in Kelp Forest. It's another Freeze the Goo sock, and if it wasn't late in the game, I would put it a bit higher. But since it also uses the pretty uncommon freeze fruit, I'll be putting it in low B tier. I think it would have been really low A tier if it wasn't so late in the game. Because this is like... You could have put this in another level, and we wouldn't have noticed. Next, we got this sock way up on this ledge here. Which is nice because, like... Yeah, it's more platforming. So, but I actually like this sock. It's a good sock. So I'm gonna be putting this in C tier. Next is this one sock on top of some random tikis. Now if it was on top of a unique object in the level, this would be higher up. But since it's on top of some dumb tikis, and they're not even stone, I'm putting this in E. You know what? Nah, I'm putting this in really high F tier. It's barely F. It was like this close to being E tier. But it's so unoriginal. Also, like, compared to the behind the Duplicatedtron, it's given the same vibes. Like, so it makes sense that I will also put this in F tier. Next, we got this sock in the caves here. This sock in the caves is very easy to get because you're going to be using this box a lot to change from SpongeBob to Patrick over and over again in the stupid area that I don't like. Which is why it's going in E tier. Next, we got the sliding in the kelp forest sock. It's another sock, but there's two socks on the slide. This one is just on a different path, which is why it's going in a C tier. Wait a minute. This is actually going in B tier, because it's the sock on the different path that you use to get there with like a leaf bouncing thing, which is really hard to get because the slide is pretty hard. So I'm putting it in B tier. Next, we got this sock where you destroy this line of tikis. This is like meh, like, you know, like, this is pretty unoriginal. Like, all I do is destroy some tikis in a straight line. Who's gonna think to do that? This is kinda bad. I'm putting it in E tier. Now, coming up is the Flying Dutchman's Graveyard and SpongeBob's Dream. SpongeBob's Dream is definitely getting an S tier sock. Just a disclaimer. Here we go into Dutchman's Graveyard. So first is this hidden in the ship sock. As you can see, Sandy is in the abyss. This sock is actually very hidden. It took me a long time to find this and rehydrate it. And I just really like the sock, so it's going in low A tier. All these A tier socks are low, so don't be fooled. Next, we got this sock hidden up here on the Dutchman's ship. This is fun to get to. It's also kind of easy to cheese. So it would have been A tier, but this is going in high B tier. We're almost there. We got platforms in the graveyard. This is another Sandy platforming challenge. But unlike Shaghide, which is this sock, this is not be able to cheese. With SpongeBob, I don't think. Without a cruise boost, obviously. So I really like this sock. It's fun to get. This is going in A tier. Next, we got SpongeBob Dream, which has some very creative socks, but also has not so good socks either. This sock might be one of my favorite socks in the whole game. It's a fun area to go. It's the only place in the whole game that promotes going out of bounds to get a reward, which is why I really like this sock. And this is also the reason this sock is going very high. This is also in a fighting area, which you would not expect to look there. Like you're focusing on the main thing, this is a bachelor. But if it promotes thinking outside the box to get to one of these socks here. Now guys, don't get mad at me for this, but this sock is going in S tier. In the only S tier sock in this whole list, probably. Next up, we got another slide sock, which is on the main path. Wait, no it's not. It's on the path where you lasso up to. I'll give it points for being creative, I guess. So this is going in B tier. Sandy's Dream is by far my favorite area in the whole game. Next, we got this Defeat Robots on the Oil. This one is basically handed to you, because you know it's right there, And if you're sliding normally, you're gonna be like, ooh, I gotta go get that. But defeating the robots doesn't really spawn it, and there's no reason to defeat them. So this is why this is going in E tier. Next up, Squidward's Dream. So next we got this sock, which is in Squidward's Dream, like I just said. So you bounce on this trampoline to go bounce over to the sock. Squidward would probably call this creative if he saw his own dream, which he probably is. So I'm making it named like a joke, because the developers would probably name it something like that. This is going in B tier because Squidward's Dream is one of my favorite areas. Now we got the final vanilla sock, which is hidden in this tiki in SpongeBob's. This is actually the only tiki in Krabs' Dream. Krabs' Dream is also a really fun area to explore out of bounds, which is why I'm giving this low A tier. Actually, not. It's like comparing to... This is going to C tier, actually. Now we got the 2 honorable mention socks. So we got these 2 socks. First is the Sand Mountain cutscene sock, which is actually different from the sock that you actually collect. This is in the honorable mention tier. Same thing is the inside the theater sock, which is like, this is the elusive inside the theater sock, because there is no videos or images of this sock in the original game at all. I am very sure this is in the original game. I swear I've seen this in the original somewhere. No one knows it exists. We need someone to go off camera and find it somewhere. This is also in the honorable mention tier. And with that, thank you for watching. Socks in S tier, hidden behind the building. Socks in A tier, hidden in the ship. Platforms in the Dutchman's graveyard. Defeat robots on the pillars. Whack-a-tiki. Cliff off the caves. Freeze the flood. Life's as extreme as you want to make it. Socks in B tier. Sandman sock. Defeat robots on ice. Funny picture. Freeze the caves. Sliding in the kelp forest. Mermalayer bungee. Lighthouse bounce. That's funny because it rhymes. Sliding in Sandy's dream. Shag hide. Creative sock. Freeze the goo in kelp forest. Hidden spiral. Behind the lighthouse. Broken building sock. Staircase to the sock. Behind the building. Hidden off the roof. No, that's supposed to be hidden on the roof. Tiki sock. Lifeguard challenge. Island sock. Hidden in the caves. Sock bowling. Socks in C tier, which has the most socks in this list. In the attic. Under the slide. Lonely sock in Sand Mountain. On the broken building. Lonely sock on the cliff. On top of the windmill. Lonely sock on the tiki. Destroy Squidward's stuff. Under the platform. Hidden sock on the hill. I will destroy the Krusty Krab. Fix the TV. Waterfall sock. On the rooftop. Sandcastle sock. King Jellyfish's sock. On top of the fountain. Slide leap. And hidden in the sea needle. Socks in D tier. Lonely ledge sock. Shortcut sock. Hidden in rock bottom. Lonely sock on the cliff. Sliding in the Mermalayer. Lonely sock on the pillar. Secret slide sock. Patrick's rock. Jellyfish rock. Hidden in the rocks. Hidden on the building. Floating platform sock. Snack bar sock. Tiki castle. Under the goo and sliding in the pier. Socks in E tier. Talk to Patrick. Sock in the caves. The fountain. Defeat robots on the oil. Destroy the line of tikis. Dumpster diving. In the goo. Rock bottom bungee. Painting sock. Painting sock 2, which I called ledge sock. Platforming in the Mermalayer. Ballroom sock. Rest stop sock. Shortcut sock. Socks in F tier, which suck. Behind the Duplicatotron and on top of the Tikis. This socks, honorable mention socks, inside the theater in Sand Mountain cutscene sock. These are all the socks in the whole game, and thank you so much for watching to this exact point in the video, because I bet you clicked off really early, but decided to watch this if you're here. Thank you very much for watching this whole video. I know that was kind of annoying to get through, and pretty boring, because I'm using some random generic tier list app. But thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it. And if you can, please like and subscribe, because I would really love that if you got to the end, because that would prove that you're a true fan. Also, if you got this far, comment, "I love BFBB," if you are a real true fan. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.